Your dentist retired, so you did as well. Going to
So did I. Yes.
Well, since you're retiring, happy retirement.
Thank
this
you.
Will be my last time at the dentist forever. 'Cause the fuck, right? Put on the
Listen,
old wooden teeth.
damn straight. Just fucking, you're fine. Just
Yeah,
take
yeah.
care of them. That's it.
One of you
It
get
just
a
falls
toothache
out.
Yeah, you got a toothache or something. You just take the old pair of pliers and
No big deal. Just
rip it
put a
out.
little freaking bourbon on that shit. You're good.
that's true. That actually does work. And a little bourbon for the tooth, a little bourbon for yourself. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Hello and welcome to another episode of In a Pickle, the show that is dedicated to the less glamorous side of sports. I am your host, Dave Houghton, and with me today, my co-host who keeps telling me I have to see the baby, Sarah Reitalik. Hello, Sarah.
Hello. You have to see the baby.
I have
You
to see the baby. Ooh, that baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad teeth, yikes.
Oof. Oof.
Ooh, God.
I was in the pool.
It's shrinkage. I understand it. I guess I am in the pool 24/7. But I mean, what are you gonna do, right? You know,
True.
sometimes you hung like a brick
A
wall,
baby?
and sometimes you're a baby. Whatever though. So shout out to your dentist who's retired probably 12 years ago. He's probably dead by now, but we don't know. Well, whatever.
Whatevs. I don't know.
Hey, good for you though. You don't have to go to the dentist and everything's fine, I mean, I keep up with my thing. I get a cleaning every 6 months. But I mean, whatever.
Good for you. I'm proud
sure
of
there's
you.
fucking Christmas ham in your teeth from 2007. But,
Still there.
yeah.
Still
That's
there.
awesome, right?
It's flavorful. It's flavorful.
It's
For
all my
sure.
cigarettes are ham flavored.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Rum
Yeah.
ham.
Well, here we are, another episode. We hit it. I believe this is episode 163. I don't know. After
I
a
lost
while,
count.
after you hit episode 2, you just kind of lose count.
Yeah,
'cause
I've lost count. So
every day's the same. So
yeah, every day ends in Y.
yeah, and cry because I cry after every day.
I thought
But,
you had your
hi-
tear ducts removed.
I do. I make the crying sound. I
Oh.
just don't have tears. No tears though. Are you laughing or crying? Hey, hey. How you doing, Sarah?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
That's good. All right, so we got some rewinds and some news. We got breaking news that just came
Yes.
over. Yes. Do you want me to release it or do you want to tell it?
Either or. I heard it this morning.
Well,
I was driving to the gas station and driving to Dunk's to get my coffee, and I will give WBZ 1030 a shout out here because they're the ones who informed me this, and then
Wow.
I instantly messaged you
while you were
instantly.
driving in a school zone,
Correct.
Yeah.
While ripping butts.
while ripping butts, screaming out the window, "Get the fuck out of the way, you fucking ready kids!" Right?
Yes.
Yeah. All
spot
right.
on.
We'll break the news here.
Well, the Sean Kemp gun shooting incident in Tacoma
Yeah.
is going to trial starting today.
I had no idea that this was even like really a thing. I didn't know that a trial was going to happen. I thought it was just one of those things where we thought that it was a self-defense type thing, right? Weren't they trying to rob him or something?
Correct. They were trying to steal his shit in his car and all that.
He's
So
trying
I
to steal his car, which he probably is living in right now because he's got about 50 kids. Right?
Yeah, that's good. His pull-out game sucks, but his pull-up game, he was amazing.
Oh, he was a badass.
Yes,
Shout
but
out to
yeah,
the Seattle Supersonics, who are no longer with us.
no,
R.I.P..
RP.
But
Yeah, starts today.
Their team, the team that they moved, Oklahoma City, they're on the verge of possibly winning or going to the finals. So that's cool.
Possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
So he's going to trial for this, but they never caught the gentlemen's that were trying to rob him, correct?
Correct. So it's something where
So the poor guy gets robbed, shoots his gun to
I think there was
self-defense.
one of them that they got because they were in the automobile.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. And as we remember, because we covered this so long ago. This is from 2023.
23. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
It's wild how time has no meaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was
If I had time in a bottle. Right? Is that how it goes?
I have no idea. Sure.
You know that
But
song.
I enjoy your singing.
Yeah, your dad probably ran that record through the house
Probably, sure.
while he screamed at the top of his lungs that he can't stand you. But yeah.
It's like
Um
everyone in my life.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not me,
so
Sarah, though. I love you. I love you. I even got you a gift that I'll eventually send to
find.
you. Fine, too. I really gotta clean this room. But yeah, all right.
Yeah. So
We're
for
going
it
off the
was
rails.
first degree assault charge that he had to deal with. Um, and his attorneys are like, no, this was self-defense. And so we will keep our eye on it as we go through because your girl loves a jury trial.
So remind the listeners, not just me. Did he get a shot off?
He allegedly shot, he was allegedly shot at, and then
He was shot at.
he was shot at
Okay.
because he had his truck broken into, and his phone and all of this stuff were stolen, and oh, they were caught. Dwayne Jackson and Joshua. I'm not even gonna try to attempt that. Those were the two guys who broke into his truck, and then he used he found them through like the where's my phone app and then
Right.
got to them and was like, yo, motherfuckers, and da 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 da. And
And did he get a bullet off? Did he get a shot off?
I
Kemp?
don't know if I know that he got shot at. I thought he was just punching motherfuckers, but could
Well,
be. We don't know.
I mean,
Everybody,
why is he going to trial? I don't understand this now. Because he
uh,
had a gun, he had a license for a gun. No.
oh no, he did return fire.
Okay,
I'm reading my
I would
notes now.
assume
He
so.
returned fire and attempted to disable their Toyota
Okay,
because they were
so
taken off.
he shot a couple of times at him. I
I mean,
mean, shooting in public in a mall, it's a little if, but I mean,
I feel like this was
whatever.
so long ago.
I mean,
Oh
it was
my God.
23. We're
It was
in
2 years
25
ago.
now. It's 2 years.
Two
I don't even
fucking
remember
years ago.
yesterday. So,
Yeah. So they were trying to rob him, broke into his truck. They shot at him. He followed them, shot at them.
okay.
Now he's on trial.
All right. And, well, they got his shit back. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure, I can't imagine it's going to be, uh, any kind of jail time. I mean, it was a self-defense thing. Yeah, he was
Right.
shooting while the people were fleeing, but he
I'm
was being shot
sure.
at.
I'm sure what's going to transpire now is we'll have like mall security footage released because we haven't had any of
Yeah,
that
that's
released.
true. That's true.
So we'll get footage to see what indeed happened in that parking
I
lot.
believe when we first talked about this, we were drooling at the fact that we could see eventually mall security footage, and we still
Footage.
haven't. So,
We still haven't. So two
yeah.
years later, if it's going to trial, they have to have some sort of footage.
Well, we'll see. Speaking of footage that we all saw, let's talk about a new development at the PNC Park. In our
Hmm.
we didn't hit the rewind button, so yeah, there we go.
There you go.
The rewind button's a little sticky. I spilled some strawberry jam on it earlier.
Nice.
I jammed the signals. Um, who is
Sorry. Fuck.
shout out to Spaceballs?
Spaceballs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Uh, tell me who Ethan Kirkwood is.
So Ethan Kirkwood, just to kick it off, he is being charged by police for providing alcohol to a minor. And it's like, oh, all right, yeah, you see that news come across and you're like, wait a minute, but who is this guy? Yeah, he's a guy who is buying beers for Caravan. Caravan Markwood.
Sounds like a
Our
really shitty minivan.
right. It's got the wood paneling on the side.
Well, it's got the wood paneling, but it's like ripped off. It's like
Yeah.
certain parts are missing.
It's got
What
the good old
what kind of car is that? Oh, it's a Caravan
Caravan
Markwood.
Markwood. It's got the
You
silver
go,
duct tape.
yeah, when you go over 30 on the highway, it flips over on its neck. Ew. Ooh.
Yes. So you remember he's our friend. We've been talking about him for weeks now. He's the one who decided to take a I don't know if he decided, but it kind of looks like he did decide to take a tumble onto the fields in the outfield of PNC Park on April 30th. According to court documents, Kirkland was arrested last Tuesday on misdemeanor charges of furnishing alcohol to a minor and has a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 23rd. The thing that is so wild is how did we not know he was a minor?
That never came out. I had no
Never.
clue.
There was no
No clue.
age release, there was no nothing. Because we would have been having very different conversations.
Oh, yeah. We probably
As
wouldn't have made that many jokes.
No, we would have.
We would
Come
have.
on. I
Yeah.
mean, he's 20, so it's not like he's,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, but it's still his buddy was buying him beers.
You know, people like this Ethan Kirkwood ruin things for the rest of us. This is why we can only
True.
grab 2 beers at a time. You
Yeah.
know, it's a real
And
shame.
remember when I was telling you
I got pockets.
at PNC Park, there was nobody there to like check my ID or check
Yeah.
an ID.
Yeah.
This right here shows you
Well, here
that like
again,
I wasn't
yeah.
bullshitting because we have somebody who was able to just be like, "Oh yeah, grab what you want and check out and give his
Right.
buddy who's a minor beers."
Right. So we go to Fenway or we go to Boston Garden or even Gillette. There's alcohol compliance monitors. Basically, people just walk the crowd to make sure that you're not all banged up and or you're not buying booze for minors. I've seen it a couple of times where one guy will go in the line, buy 2 beers, come back to a table in the concession stands and give his buddy a beer, and then these alcohol compliance guys come out of nowhere and they
They come
check
bum
everybody's
rushing.
ID.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like the other guy was just grabbing hot dogs for the two of them. They were killing two birds with one stone. But you know, hey, it's a safety thing, and this is why it is because of people like this caravan Markwood uh falling on his head in the outfield. I mean, some people
Yes.
just can't handle a beer or two, you know?
Some people
I
just can't
mean,
handle a beer and baseball.
this kid, I mean, if you're jumping over the fucking if you're jumping over the railings at a baseball game, you've had more than two. That's for sure.
And that's where I'm at. I'm like, he's definitely had, and I mean, granted, they're tall boys, but he definitely had far more.
Still,
And they were probably drinking beforehand as well.
also, I mean, like, not for nothing, but fucking beers are like $20 at these stadiums. Like, Jesus Christ, pregame and then go have one or two at the stadium.
And that's probably what happened. And that's why he was so
I
happy jumping
don't
up and
know,
down
man.
like he saw the
I've seen.
gorillas.
I remember I went to a Red Sox game one time, and there was this lady who was stacking cups. She saved every fucking plastic cup of beer that she had throughout the day. In the sixth inning, she had about 10 cups. I don't know why
Yeah.
you'd save them, but I mean, you
She
just
she should be doing the sevens, this 999
yeah.
challenge.
She was at least 10 by 6. So I mean,
Good for her.
I didn't see her jam any dogs down her gullet, but I mean, maybe she was just doing the beer challenge, 2 beers an inning. Oof, Jesus,
Oh my God.
fucking shit and piss yourself right at the seventh. All right, Alejandro on the streets. He gave us some headlining news
He
about our
did.
old boy Antonio Brown. What's going on with this one now?
Yeah, this story was a little wild.
Yeah,
Yes, shout out to Alejandro on the streets. Dun, dun, dun. So
Alejandro on the streets. Do 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 do. Breaking news with Alejandro. Right? It's a work in
yay.
progress.
We'll figure it out.
Alejandro, we'll get your
Uh,
own theme song.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So he shed a little bit of light on this whole Antonio Brown shooting situation, and this is a little wild.
All right.
Because we touched on it last week. He's saying he was defending himself from people trying to steal his jewelry, blah 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 blah, all this
Right.
bullshit, right? Well, I'm gonna butcher this name because it's a given. Zul Karnan Nantambu.
Well, it sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say bless me. Bless
Oh no.
me.
No, Nantambu.
Nantambu.
Yeah.
Nantambu. So we're just gonna say Nantambu throughout because it's the easiest part of his word to say. His
Yeah,
name to
Zool
say.
is a little easier, but that's fine.
Well, okay. Well, because it's hyphened. It's Zul
Whatever.
Canern, whatever.
Nantambu.
Nintambu says that Antonio Brown personally fired the shots and could potentially be responsible. This could potentially be in response to a legal battle that the two have been having.
Oh boy.
Yes, and it's been happening in federal bankruptcy court. So, a quick little backstory behind it and why you were like, wait a minute, why would this be? Huh? I don't understand. Nintambu claimed during a 2022 encounter that Antonio Brown was in Dubai and he had stolen a valuable pendant that Nintambu had designed for him. And when he was like, "Yo, bro, you stole my shit," da da da
Yeah.
da. So police then go to Antonio Brown. Now, mind you, this is in Dubai. Police go to Antonio Brown and are like, "Did you steal this pendant?" And he's like, "No, he stole the pendant from me." Blah, blah, blah. Mind you, Antonio Brown is seen in multiple pictures on his Instagram and X account
Didn't he have
wearing.
other trouble in Dubai with his dick out in the pool or something?
Yes, I feel
Yeah.
as though it was the same trip.
It had to be. How many trips do you
It's,
really make to Dubai?
it's a
Especially
lot.
when you're filing for bankruptcy.
True
You know,
story.
it's got to be one.
So Antonio Brown was like, no, 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 I didn't steal it. He stole it from me. And then the cops were like, okay, and then locked up Nintambu, which is also wild. And then Nintambu was like, you know what? Fuck this dude. I'm finally out and I'm going to sue him. So he sued Brown and won. It was $968,960. However,
Yikes.
it was later vacated and in 2024 had been dismissed.
No.
So, yeah, it's like I'm guessing they're just like, oh, we feel so bad for Antonio Brown. He's got so much up against him. He's gonna pay all these baby mamas and he's got everyone's coming at him. Let's stop attacking him. Who knows? But at the end of the day, boo.
Yeah.
Um,
Do the time.
correct. So
Yeah.
Nintambu is pursuing a partial reduced judgment of $123,600 in federal bankruptcy court. And Antonio Brown obviously continues to deny the allegations. However, we know from his track record that he gets jewelry and doesn't pay for it, or he
Right.
steals things, or he doesn't pay for his kids. So we're pretty on to his track record, so we know. So we fast forward now to the Miami after this boxing event.
Yep.
And you have these two gentlemen are in the same vicinity of one another and they lock eyes. And rather than Antonio Brown ignoring it or confronting, just like having a conversation like, yo, man, da da da, or better yet, just ignoring it and walking away,
Right.
he immediately calls over security and is like, these people are trying to steal my jewelry and jump me for my jewelry, blah, blah, blah. And then you see him like beeline out, and then he comes back and shoots
Right.
at
Right.
Nintambu, like shoots
Right.
towards him, which in a way, I could see him being like, well, if this dude gets got, then these legal troubles go away and I keep the jewelry.
Right. Man, yeah, I mean, go to jail.
Well,
Right.
he wasn't arrested because he was able to claim self-defense. So how are we here?
Yeah. The problem is if Antonio Brown did walk away and get security and then come back and start firing, he aggravated the situation yet again.
Correct.
If he just walked away and
Correct.
got security and security took Nantambu and be like, hey, you got to go over here. No problems
Right.
today.
Right.
It would be a different story. But Antonio Brown's like, oh, this dude's over here trying to steal my chain. Let's go get him. And then he pulls out a gun and starts shooting. Now, Nantambu was was this the one that was shot in the neck?
Yeah, it like grazed his neck.
Yeah. If you look at the photos of Nantambu's bullet, quote unquote, bullet hole, I mean, it looked like he spilled ketchup on his neck.
He may have.
I mean, the photos don't do any kind of justice for
He
being shot
he
at. I
may
mean, Antonio
have.
Brown slinging a gun around in a backstage of a boxing event. I mean, that's fucking reckless anyways. I mean, somebody could have been seriously hurt and or
Well,
killed, but
want to know what my theory is? Is that he was just trying to enjoy a glizzy on the walk out because you want to have a little post-fight snack.
yeah, absolutely. You got to have a
And
sports
then
dog.
and then the bullet hit the hot dog,
Oh shit.
and then its ketchup flew up, and then the ricocheted and like grazed his neck and brought the ketchup up with it,
Fuck.
and then
Yeah.
went around, and then he just stood there and started crying because he dropped his hot dog.
Right. Oh shit. R.I.P. to that hot dog, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's too bad. Uh so like so Brown wasn't arrested for this whole incident, but
He
now
wasn't.
this
It's
white this white collar crime
all.
is now turned blue collar because I mean he's out there
I
firing guns. What so
I
what's up?
guess we're gonna wait and see if there's more. He's already dealing with this legal situation with this gentleman, but they really need to look into this a little bit more. And I'm guessing as of right now that it's for us to kind of make our own assessment and judgment on.
Yeah.
But I mean, based off of the record and the track record and history, all that shit. I feel that, yeah, Antonio Brown definitely was like, ooh, how can I get rid of this lawsuit? Ooh, how can I keep this jewelry? Ooh,
Not for nothing, but maybe a little stint in uh, uh prison and or a psychiatric tank might do Antonio
it
Brown
would,
some
I think
good.
it would do him some good indeed. CTE. I mean, he keeps claiming CTE. We all know you have it, sir.
Right,
We
right.
all know it's not a shock for any of
Didn't
us.
he didn't he try to name a podcast or a YouTube
Yes.
show CT?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's I guess we'll just keep our eye on what's there, what happens,
Keep
we
our
shall
eyes on
see.
those wasted hot dogs. All right. Let's switch it into the news. We'll switch gears. Stay with football, but switch gears into something else. Jim Irsay has died at the age of
At
65.
65.
Didn't know he was that young by the pictures that
Oh
you
my
see of
God,
him. He looks
I
way
didn't know
older than that.
either. He does
Yeah.
look older than that. And he's had, to his defense, he's had a lot of health issues which have aged him dramatically.
Yeah. Right.
So that's also part of the problem. But I think, last week we were talking about ownerships and how these old white guys need to start dying off and this and that. And like, I was like, all right, here's an owner dying, an
Right.
older white owner dying. But the fact that fucking Jerry Jones is still alive,
It's I mean,
I I
it's
can't.
amazing. He must have some incriminating photos of God or
The
something. I
devil
don't know.
of
Yeah.
the devil.
Of the devil.
It's
Yeah.
like
But I
fucking.
mean, Jim Irsay had a history of like drugs and alcohol problem. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, he was so rough. Like
I'm
he was a party
pretty
boy.
sure he's a nepo baby, right? I mean,
I thought he was.
his father
Yeah.
owned his father owned the team and then he took over. Kind of much like the what's his name from the Raiders? Bowl cut, the guy there.
Yeah,
Mark
we're gonna call him
Davis.
Bowl Cut because it's way better.
Mark Davis.
That's such a
I
better
mean,
nickname.
Jim Irsay was just kind of thrown into a position when his father owned the Colts. You know, he was the general manager in '84 until his father died and gave him the team. But I mean, like, he's got a lengthy problem with drugs and alcohol, and I mean, he's done a lot of good. Um, he's done good for Indiana itself. Like he's donated a lot of shit and he's put on a lot of projects and the feed the homeless,
He was
house
in an
the
episode of